Hey, this is Jesus Castillo from RubyGuides.com. So, welcome, Ruby friends, to another live stream. And today we're going to cover some project ideas because a lot of people send me emails asking about, okay, what can I build? I need some ideas. Well, I'm going to give you some ideas, and if there is interest, at some point I will put a PDF that you can download with these ideas. So let me know if you're interested about that. Also, I'm going to be answering questions. You're watching this live. You have the ability to ask questions in the chat and interact with me live. Okay? By the way, it is my website. If you aren't familiar with it, I found some people that are familiar with the YouTube channel, but are not familiar with the website. So if you're not familiar with the website, it's RubyGuides.com. And here I have a free newsletter. I have over 150 free articles for you. So if the videos aren't enough for you, you have lots of articles here. You also have my book, which helps you support my work, and it helps you also improve your Ruby skills beyond what you can find in most places. And finally, if you didn't know that, I have this page where you will find a list of all the articles I have written over the years. So I started this blog back in 2012, so that's already 8 years ago. So I've been around for a long time, and here you will find all of the original material that I have written myself, right? I do all of this myself. I don't hire anyone or pay anyone to do this content. I do the research, the writing, the editing, the posting, everything that's involved. There is a lot of work for each one of these articles. Have to research, you have to decide the topic, have to write, you have to edit, you have to prepare the code examples, then there's the posting process. There's a lot of steps, so I hope someone can appreciate that. And yeah. So there is that. You can find that link at the bottom of the homepage. Okay, so now back to our topic today, which is project ideas. Oh, by the way, another thing, I have one of the articles that I have is what kind of things can you build with Ruby? Because a lot of people don't know that. This article right here, Ruby programming uses what can you create, right? You can create a lot of things, not only websites. So let's go with the ideas, okay? I'm going to open up IRB. I just can type comments as a way of demonstrating the different ideas. By the way, feel free to say hi and say where you're from and what you're working on in the chat if you're watching live, or in the comments if you're watching later on. So here is some ideas. First thing, you need to use some creativity, because look at your phone. Oh, if you look at your phone, a lot of people are on their phones the whole day, right? You have a lot of applications. What are those icons in your phone? Well, every one of these icons is an application, it's a program, right? So right there, you already have ideas. So for example, in my phone, I have Google Analytics. I have a English vocabulary builder app. That's already another idea for you. These are these. Have also a meditation app. I have anatomy app. I have notes app for taking notes. Of course, I have YouTube. I have Yeah. So you could try taking a feature or an idea, one of these apps that you have on your phone. So replicate and ready or part, it doesn't have to be full, or part of an already existing software. And you can get ideas from websites. It doesn't have to be the typical that you might find replicate a social media website. That's kind of boring, but you can find other ideas if you do this. Look at your phone, look at what you have installed on your computer, the apps that you use, look at what kind of things you like that might be related, right? And remember, it doesn't have to be an exact. In fact, it's better if you make like your own spin on it. You put your own spin on it. Use creativity. It's very important, creativity in programming. It's not only an engineering kind of thing. You have to use some creativity as well, especially to come up with ideas and to solve problems, right? Creativity is also important for problem solving. So that's one idea. And from here, you also notice that a lot of devices use have programs. Even a calculator uses software, right? It's a program. Even we have some everything. Let's see, a lot of things. There are even like freezers with computers in them, and cars like GPS things. So lots of ideas for that, for use for this point. Okay, so more things. Another thing you can do is you can implement single feature apps. So these are very helpful. A lot of people don't consider this. Single feature apps. So single feature apps means you create a new, completely new application. It doesn't have to be Rails, by the way. You can build perfectly built Ruby applications with Rails, as I will demonstrate. I have already demonstrated many of my other videos and articles on the website RubyGuides.com, as you might know. One thing you can do is, for example, with a Rails app, you can build single feature apps. What that means is you start new Rails app, and so it will be a brand new application with nothing else on it. And here your goal is going to be implement one feature, and then you leave that code and you don't touch it unless you want to keep exploring that feature. So that's what I mean by single feature apps. I'm going to give you some examples in a moment. So that's what you do, and for each of these single feature, you start a new app, one feature. That's what I mean. And this allows you to explore how that feature works, how to implement it, and how to use it, right? So here are some examples of single features that you could be implementing as a single feature app, right? So these are the project ideas that we're talking about, and you can come up with practically infinite number of project ideas. So that's not something that you can run out of. Okay, so here's some single features that you can implement. For example, pagination. That's one. You can also implement email notifications. That's another. You could also implement like an admin panel, or you could play around with geolocation. If you don't know what that is, well, search. That's what Google is for, right? You could implement like a search feature, right? Search feature. You could implement Bootstrap. You could try to build little Bootstrap homepage or form. You see, still have ideas. Then later on, you can take these single features and combine them into a bigger project. So that's the nice thing about this. You could implement, how about OAuth? So that's logging with Facebook. This is a little bit more complicated, so I wouldn't recommend this one for beginners. It's more complicated, but that's an option. You can implement like user roles, like you have admin and not admin, like regular user and guest, whatever, and they can access different things. So that's just a few ideas of some of the single feature apps that you could be building. So let me know if that helps. And we have Andrei Sebastianov, how I pronounced that right in the chat. He say, "Hi Jesus," well, hi Andrei. Hope you're doing good. I'm from Poland. Okay. How is it in Poland right now? Is the weather as hot as here in Spain? And thank you very much for your energy and knowledge that you sell us. Well, I'm glad that helps. It's good to have some energy if you want to get things done, right? So that's a lot of examples already. And that's actually more detail that I give when I answer these emails. So I hope you take some of these ideas and use it, right? Because you can watch these videos, but have to do things, get things done, right? Get things done. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Because if you just watch videos and you don't do anything with them, well, that's not that helpful. At very least, you want to take some notes, you want to practice, you want to open up IRB and practice some code, and of course, you want to build some projects. Okay? So other things that you can do, if that wasn't enough for you, you can go to GitHub and participate in open source projects. Participate in open source projects. That's very helpful. And by the way, big pro tip here. Employers are going to value this a lot. Okay, so do some participation in open source project, which you can find GitHub. Okay, you can see if they are looking for help, which they usually are, and see how you can help. You can improve the documentation, you can look at the different issues and pull requests, all of that. So that's another idea for you. And the best thing you can do is combine all of those if you want to get really good at programming. And really good at impressing your future boss or current boss if you're really working as a developer. Okay? So what else? You can build a Ruby gem. This is very important project to do as well, because it will allow you to understand exactly what is a Ruby gem, why it's not any kind of magic or any kind of alchemy or anything strange. It's something very specific, something that you can find information about. I think I have a video and an article where you can find information about building how gems work. And because we use gems, in fact, Rails itself is a gem. There is IRB, right? And we have also Pry. Well, Pry is also a gem, very helpful. Rails is a gem. Well, it's a set of gems, in fact. Gem. So it helps to be familiar with gems if you're going to be a Ruby developer, right? So the best way to do that is not only to use gems. That's another thing you can do. Yet another idea. Use gems. So just like the single feature app, you can do like single gem apps. That's another idea. But building a gem, I think every Ruby developer needs to at least build a Ruby gem once. Even if you don't publish it, that's fine. You don't have to publish the gem, but at least build it and make it do something. It doesn't have to be super fancy. It doesn't have to be super special or super unique. It just needs to work, and you need to understand the different components that make up a gem. Okay? That's yet another idea for you. So I hope that helps. So there you have it. If you have any questions, let me know. Another kind of project you can build is you can build projects with Sinatra. So you might be familiar with Rails, but there is also Sinatra, which is a much simpler version of Rails, okay? And you can also use that. In fact, I covered this an introduction in my book because I think it's important to have some perspective of everything that Rails does for you. Rails does a lot of work for you, okay? And you need to appreciate that. And one way to do that is to use Sinatra, right? Because it's a much simpler version than Rails, but you can build production applications with Sinatra. So I'm not saying that Sinatra is bad or anything. In fact, it's pretty good. I'm just saying that it has less features than Rails. It has much less features than Rails. Therefore, it's more simpler to learn, right? And to use. So that's why you can also build Sinatra app, Ruby gem, single gem apps, which means you pick like 2 or 3 of your favorite gems and you use them in some kind of little project, okay? So there is, but remember, the most important thing is that you need to do it, right? Instead of just watching like random cat videos or whatever you do for entertainment. Remember that the only way you're going to make progress is you actually build these projects. Okay? So any questions, if you're watching live, now is the time to ask them. Questions? No questions? Okie dokie, then I guess we are done for this shorter live stream. It's pretty hot right here, so it's not like it feels like you want to be streaming for very long with this kind of weather. But that's fine. I hope I've been of service to you by sharing these project ideas. I hope that you get to work by building some projects. And if you build a project using one of these ideas or one that you came up on your own, let me know. Email me and share your project idea with me. Okay? So, Ruby and Jets, I don't know what that is, but okay. And that's not a question. Did you boil that? Is that what you're saying? Well, anyway, we're done for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Remember to keep learning, to watch more videos on the channel, and visit the website, and practice your Ruby skills every day. So thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in the next video.